Good afternoon, everybody. This is the On the Hunt podcast. I'm the number one Lions fan. You probably know Bobby Bless. I'm here with my brothers Elijah and my other brother Nate. And I just want to give a shout out to my guy Reggie, who's the numbers guru, who's a little bit under the weather, but we all thinking about you, big dog. I know you are. I know you're gonna be all right. And I just want to say good afternoon again. And how's everybody doing?
Well, I'm doing very well, and I'm excited to be doing this podcast with you guys again. I'm sorry that Reggie ain't with us today. I hope he feels better very, very soon. And like I said, looking forward to a great show today because I think we got a lot of stuff to cover, a lot of gadgets to try out. And I just want to say in advance, if there are any issues, remember, we're still learning this stuff as we go, especially me. And so, hey, if this ship goes off the rails or whatever saying you want to use, that's on me, not on the fellas. But anyway, Nate, how's it going, my friend?
Man, I'm all right. Just again sending our well wishes out to Cuzzo. But again, hey, it's three of us. Well, it's four of us. We like the Titanic. We like the band on the Titanic. We going down with the ship, man.
So yeah, let's make Reggie proud, man.
Hey, listen. Hey, but eventually, we're gonna be like Herman Boone on Remember the Titans. I got 3 plays. After a while, hey, it's like Novocaine to work every time.
That's what's up.
All right, hey, go ahead and talk to him about that contest, brother.
Yes, so we got another contest that we are doing today, hoping to give away some more Lions merchandise. Bobby Bless is holding up what we're giving away today. It is a 3XL sideline Lion shirt. Bobby Bless, when I say sideline Lion shirt, what does that mean so folks know?
That means when you're at home on the sideline, you'll see other people on the actual sideline wearing the same shirt. You're on the team. This will make you an official member of the team. No, I'm joking. No, it's just the same shirt that these guys wear on the sideline, the trainers and whatnot. It's just officially licensed gear. Like we've talked about before, this is the kind of stuff that be on sale during the games and 25% off. And I just wanted to make sure I share the love and give it to one of these big guys.
Right. Hey, look, make sure they see them tags. Let them know. Hold on, y'all. This is not previously worn. Also, guys, listen. You do not send us any money. Any gift that is given away, it is all done by our guy, the merch guy, Bobby Bless. And hey, we may pitch in, but Bobby Bless, dog. I want people to understand that this is coming out of his pocket. This is not a scam. You do not have to send us any money. This is not a GoFundMe page. So
yes,
it's silly, man.
And we've given away a lot of Lions merchandise, so our track record is pretty good. We've given away an LED light, we gave away a checkers board, we gave away 2 watches, we gave away a license plate,
a flag too.
A flag. I can't forget about the flag, and now we're giving away a shirt. 3XL is the size on the shirt, by the way, in case you're wondering that part. And one of the things I was telling the guys was, hey, we're getting into those holiday seasons. Granted, Halloween has not happened yet, but if you go into the superstore, it's like it already passed a few weeks ago because they're ready for Christmas. But my point is, you could get somebody a nice Christmas gift that you didn't even have to pay for. We'll keep your secret. All you got to do today is like our video, subscribe to our channel, leave as many comments as you possibly can. And also the added thing today, this is a YouTube channel. So we want you to go on this YouTube channel and like as many of the videos on this YouTube channel as you possibly can. We would greatly appreciate it. But again, those are the 4 things you got to do. Leave as many comments as you want on this video, like this video, subscribe to the channel, and then go like hunting. That's right. Go on the hunt. Go on the hunt for some videos to like on the channel. Certainly would appreciate it. So with Reggie not being here, we're going to do his on the numbers, or I should say, excuse me, by the numbers. And the fellows are going to help me out here. We're going to test out our new technologies right now. So bear with me. And hopefully.
You got it, Elijah. You got it, man. I know you do.
Right. So here we go. We're going to
put it on the screen and we're going to narrate it the best way. There we go. Well, hold on. Wait, there we go. Let's get it up on the screen. Let's see what we're working with.
Quarterbacks.
Oh,
Let's
So
see.
quarterbacks are first. These are the league rankings, by the way, because that's what we were asking Reggie to do since last week was a bye week. So we knew kind of where we stacked up with the rest of the league. One cheat number I will give you right now is the fact that the Lions have got somebody in every single position in the top 50 for PFF outside rusher. Okay, so that's the only one that we don't have somebody in the top 50, but we want to show you the league so you kind of know where we stack up. So obviously our quarterback is not in the top 19. So let's flip to the second page here. You'll find Jared Goff currently ranked number 27.
Man, PFF lying.
Listen,
No way.
Yeah, PFF does not give Jared Goff any type of love.
They some haters.
Right. Even before the last game, man, Jared, he's just not a PFF guy, and it is what it is. So what?
So why? So real quick, why do you think that is? We'll go Nate and then Bobby, because I'm just curious if you guys have the same theory I do. Nate, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, the way PFF is graded, man, they do a lot of analytical things. They're looking at as far as the depth of a pass, how far the pass traveled through the air, so on and so forth. So they come up with their own type of terminology and their own grading system. And guess what? I don't know, and I don't care.
Bobby, your thoughts?
I think because their calculator was broken. That's all I got to say. But I don't know.
So
I don't even care, man, for real. But
so for me, I feel like, and again, I don't know this for a fact, but I feel like part of the reason why Jared Goff doesn't get a lot of love is because he's not a flashy quarterback. Like, he is somebody who just gets the job done.
He's a game manager.
Yeah, he's a game manager, but he is not Patrick Mahomes, where he's running almost to the line of scrimmage, then underhanding a touchdown pass. Like, he doesn't have any of those crazy type plays in his repertoire, and I don't think he needs them. We just need to win some damn games. But for PFF, they want to see the more spectacular. And the reason why I mention that is because if you go back to the first page, Josh Allen's number 1. Mm-hmm. Geno Smith at number 2, which, by the way, somebody tried to tell
I knew you was gonna say that. I knew he was gonna bring Geno.
Patrick Mahomes, Andy Dalton. That's got to be from last week though, with Andy Dalton, because he hasn't been the starting quarterback all season. But
no.
But you want to know how crazy PFF is, like, actually, when you think about it. Jared Goff is 27th, right?
Yep.
Look who's 29. That's funny.
Ooh, that's not we know who 229 is. And how can these guys be separated by 2 spots? And one guy, and one guy has more interceptions than touchdowns.
Yeah, dude. Jared Goff season ain't that messed up.
He has more total turnovers than he does touchdowns. And he's 29, and Jared Goff is at 27. But anyway, that's for another show. Go ahead, continue.
Running backs. Let's go to running backs here. So I was a little surprised that DeAndre Swift was not up a little further, I guess. I for some reason, I thought he would be in the top 15. He hasn't played in a few weeks, though, so that could be why. But exactly. Nick Chubb right now is the leader for PFF running backs.
Mm-hmm.
And Christian McCaffrey, who's been kind of banged up a little bit, he's number 4. Tony Pollard is number 3. That's kind of impressive to me. I haven't been watching much of the Cowboys this year.
And he's splitting carries too. That is really nice. Him and Chubb, actually, but more so my guy, Dallas, though.
So we got Jamal Williams at number 19 for PFF for running backs. DeAndre Swift, number 23. So not that bad for DeAndre, since he hasn't played in a few weeks. And for Jamal, I feel like he's just he has been the beneficiary of getting the ball inside the 5-yard line. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a really good running back, but I also love the fact that he's probably going to get like 18 touchdowns this year just from.
Yeah, I like how he run behind them pads. He run behind his pads.
This is the crazy part, though, is that if Jamal could catch the ball remotely anything of like a 6-year-old, his PF like a 50. Because if you see, he's got a 76. He's almost, if you round it up, he's almost 80 as far as rushing the ball. But, dude, he's in the red as far as receiving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that means he's whack. That's catching that ball.
It's rough.
Man.
Okay,
But,
so let's move on here to I'm sorry, Nate. Go ahead.
No, I said, but it's okay. We good. Let's move on. Let's keep it moving.
Okay, so safeties is the next one. Tracy Walker. Well, this one's kind of bittersweet because he was having such a great year, and
he was doing good.
His year's over now. But I am excited to see Kirby Joseph on there because wasn't Kirby somebody we recently drafted, or am I wrong on that?
No, yes, he was drafted. He was our draft pick from Syracuse. He was, he was put back there in Syracuse to help with that three deep safety look that Aaron Glenn loves.
Okay. So again, for folks who are looking on the screen saying, there's a lot of colors, there's a lot of numbers. I don't know where our guys are. 13, Tracy Walker. 20, Kirby Joseph for safeties. Moving over here to tight ends. I am very curious to see where TJ the Truth Hawkinson is lining up here. He's not in the top 19. So let's go over here to number 21. That's right, TJ Hawkinson. Bobby Bless, tell me a little bit about your favorite player.
Obviously, PFF ended up fixing that calculator. No, he played a good game, man. Be honest, I know I'm hard on TJ Hawkinson a lot, but as long as he's catching the ball, man, I really don't have nothing negative to say about him. I'm still going to give him credit for the 2 games ago. So he's not on my list anymore. He's trending up. I'll go that far.
So here's my question for you guys, because I believe this is worth asking at this point. Do we sign TJ Hawkinson to a long-term deal, or do we let him walk at the end of this season? Because I think his contract's up.
As long as they're not trying to make him the highest paid tight end in the league, no. Or like if he top 5 and they're trying to pay him like 4 or 5 money, yeah. But no, not like Kelsey or Kittle or even what's my guy for the Raiders, Darren Waller? No.
Yeah, Darren Waller out of Georgia Tech. Nate, your thoughts on that?
TJ Hawkinson doesn't move it for me. He doesn't move it. Me and Bobby have always been both. We've both been real big critics. We've both been real big critics of TJ Hawkinson. But again, besides that one game that he had this year, he really hasn't shown too much. His blocking, again, has been subpar. But, hey, I guess, you get paid to catch the ball. So, I mean, I'm going to leave that up to Brad Holmes, man. I can't say what these players are worth. I'm leaving that up to the GM. I'm trusting that guy, Brad Holmes, and he's gonna do what he feels is best.
So
Elijah gonna cry. No.
So here's the thing. And this is something that folks who watch the show wouldn't know because they're not in our planning sessions. I am not the biggest TJ Hawkinson fan. I will say that I have been impressed with him this season, but I'm also impressed with a lot of the tight ends that are in college football right now. And so I dare say that, you might find somebody who is on par with TJ in the draft next year. And you might find somebody who can actually, I don't know, block as well, because that's been a big concern for TJ is that, he can catch, but he can't block worth a damn. So for me, that's kind of where I'm at. Like, yes, I'm impressed with the guy, but I know he's going to want top tight end money.
Absolutely.
They tried to sell his blocking in the draft so much. That's why it's so underwhelming to me how much he blocked, how poor he blocked. Because Nate know when they was even talking about getting him, I said, man, he can't block. And everybody called me a hater for it and all that other stuff. But he ain't proved nobody wrong yet with that. But he's a good receiver, man. I'm not gonna take that away from him, man.
And
I don't. Yeah.
He is better than Ebron.
To me, yeah. I never liked him either.
So let's go ahead and move on here to wide receivers.
Snowman better than Ebron.
I'm sorry, Nate?
I said Frosty the Snowman is better than Ebron.
Hey, what team he on now anyway?
I don't know.
No,
I thought he was on the Steelers.
I don't know.
I ain't seen him. I don't even talk about him no more.
But we do have the wide receivers up on the screen right now. And for folks who are trying to figure out where our guys are on the screen, number 11, Amon-Ra St. Brown. You know, for me, fellas,
that's my guy.
And I love Amon-Ra St. Brown, but the thing that concerns me is I feel like he's out there and he's not healthy enough to be out there. Like, I hate saying it like that, but like, you know, those guys who just want to tough it out for their team because they love their team. I think Amon-Ra St. Brown is doing that right now. And I feel like he should have taken off as many weeks as Swift did.
Which is part of the bye week. Well, the difference was DeAndre Swift was banged up from week 2.
Yeah.
So, you know, St. Brown didn't get banged up till later. But he, like I say, he's a tough guy. You can see the way that they have been raised, you know, which is a detriment to his mom and dad. Dad being a former bodybuilder, so he's you know, he's big on physical fitness. So hey, it's been drilled in him. Like, hey, you're hurt, you're not injured, play.
Yeah. But I just, you know, I hope that he's smart about this because, you know, Amon-Ra, you know, I really feel like he is going to be that steal of the draft. You know, I feel like he's already kind of proven to sort of be that when it comes to his own position anyway, with the other guys that were drafted that same year, because he was passed up by a lot of teams, you know, and so for him, I just hope he's smart about this because he's got a long career ahead of him if he takes care of his body and doesn't go out there and do anything foolish. And the reason why I bring this all up is just because I feel like he was not able to do some things that we're used to seeing him do against the Patriots. And I don't know if that's because the Patriots defense is just that dang good, or if it's because he was really hurt. Therefore, the scheme he would usually run an out route with is no longer there. Therefore, giving the linebackers chances to cover him better. Nate, what do you think about that as our defensive coordinator?
Well, again, the Patriots defense really isn't that good. As far as their secondary, the Lions did have a problem up front blocking Matthew Judon. That wild hair guy that we wasted a pick on in the 2nd round, which we should supposed to have gotten the 7th round. Jelani Tavai made a couple of plays, but one thing about being injured, or I'm sorry, just being hurt, is that you lose a lot of things. And when you're a guy when you're a guy who's in the slot, he needs that quickness, he needs the cuts, and he just doesn't have it. You know, he doesn't. He's already not a fast guy. He's quick. He reminds you of a Golden Tate type receiver. You know, he's a guy who's going to have that brilliant, you know, Tyreek Hill type top end speed, but he has that assertive quickness where, hey, he can get in and out of his breaks, get a pass, and get that first down. So by him not having that and being hurt, it does hinder him. And it hurts that offense as well.
So the good news here for Lions fans, Amon-Ra is obviously ranked number 11th by PFF. He's not the only one, though, in the top 54 wide receivers for the Detroit Lions. So let's go over here to this next page here where you will find Josh Reynolds at number 29. And that's obviously looking pretty good there. Josh Reynolds having himself a season. And, you know, I remember a few weeks ago, I made the comment to everyone here on this show that, you know, when folks were talking in the offseason about how good our offense could be, the guy that consistently got left out of that conversation was Josh Reynolds. And I feel like maybe he felt some type of way about that because he has been playing his butt off for the first 5 weeks of the season. Would you guys agree with that? Yeah,
he get open. I like how he get open, and I like his timing with golf, you know. You can see that's I don't want to say safety blanket, but they they can see each other and know what each other's doing. They got that mental telepathy, you know what I mean? They can talk to each other with eye contact. They know what they're doing, man. As far as a combination, I do like that. That's him and St. Brown are definitely our best receivers from what I've seen this year. So I agree.
Nate, your thoughts?
Oh, Nate. Well, but I do want to add. I would like to add though. Josh Reynolds. He seemed like he determined to get a contract too, man. I don't know how long he got here with us. He probably on a 1 year one. And I just think that maybe with maybe with some more consistency, he would be worth the re-sign, especially if him and Jared Goff tied at the hip like it looks like. So pretty much I just think when Jameson Williams get back, we'll really know what we got. You know what I'm saying? I want to see them all together on the field and see how that looks, if we can get blessed that way.
For sure.
So what you think, brother?
So taking a look here at the offensive line, folks. Now, again, this is usually Reggie's segment. So Reggie would be the one telling you all this good stuff.
Yeah.
Have eloquent things to say. I don't really have all that right now, but I will say for the offensive line, it's nice to see our center in the top 15 there. Frank Ragnow coming in at number 11 for the centers. Moving over.
Frank, I didn't like him at first, but he ended up showing that why he was worth that high of a pick. So
yeah, because remember we was Rag down for a minute.
Man, flag now, hurt now. I had all kind of old messed up nicknames.
And
Frank hurt now.
One thing that I will say, and I know this is not going to be popular with our fan base, and listen, I did not like the Bob Quinn era or the Matt Patricia era, but the one thing that I will say I think they got right in the draft was the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only thing I can really give them credit for was their offensive line picks, because without them, we would not have Ragnow. We would not have Decker. So I feel like they made some good picks there, but I'm not sure if you guys want to give them any credit or if we just want to keep moving on.
I think they running backs were horrible. They picked some of the most garbage running backs ever, so really couldn't see their line doing good. So I don't know.
Nate?
As far as the offensive line goes, yes. I definitely want to give him, but because we also, we can't forget, one of the unsung guys out there is Jonah Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't a big fan of Vitae, just for the simple fact, yes, he graded out as one of the best run blocking, right tackles, which moved him back inside to guard, but he also was one of the worst pass blocking offensive linemen. So
yeah.
Other than that, man, what they did as far as the offensive line was good. Everything else was watered down and bad, but I'll definitely take the offensive line. So on that note, thanks a lot, Big Baloney, and smartest guy.
Big Baloney.
So taking a look here at the cornerback situation, Will Harris is currently 42. I don't really have a lot to say about Will Harris. To be honest with you, he's one of those guys that he's out there. I know he's out there on our defense, but he doesn't really stir any emotions in me, if that makes any sense. But
nope.
Our defensive coordinator probably has an opinion. So what is your opinion on Will Harris, Nate?
It shows just how obscure that PFF is. Because for Will Harris, who was drafted as a safety, converted to a cornerback, it's very, very hard. It's very rare unless you're the elite of the elite. You typically see cornerbacks transition to safety, later on in their career when they lose speed, a la Rob Woodson, a la Charles Woodson, Deion Sanders, Aeneas Williams, things of that nature, Ronnie Lott. But for Will Harris to transition early in his career backwards from a safety to a corner was really kind of hard for me to believe. And it's been subpar though. You know, yeah. But anyway, Will Harris, thank you for being out there.
Taking a look
at I wanted to add something real quick. Nate,
yep.
remember the Nevin Lawson effect? You used to show video of Nevin Lawson not doing can't even turn his head. Can't even turn his head. But PFF had graded him high. That's kind of when PFF first started. I could never understand. I could see this dude messing up on the field, but you giving him good grade. I just could never understand that. But go ahead, Elijah. If you wanted to finish this up, I just wanted to throw that out there because I remember Nate used to be on PFF. You know what?
So looking at I believe these are the guards now that we're looking at here. So Joe. Obviously, for Cleveland, they got 2 of them in the top 3. Nick Chubb probably loves that. Take a look at where our guy is, Jonah Jackson. I believe we were just talking about him not that long ago. He's 27th in the NFL, according to PFF. Again, I don't have a lot to say about Jonah Jackson. I can't really keep it down for the big boys, as Reggie would say, or putting down for the big boys. I don't know much about that. I know when I played, I was thankful that they protected me. But anyway, moving on here. We have got some interior defenders. I feel like this guy does not get enough credit. And yeah, he's number 50, but he's also young. Alim McNeil.
Yeah, he a dog. He's a dog.
And one thing that I will say is that he's out there doing his very best Batman effect with no Robin. Because if you remember, we drafted Levi, and I can never pronounce his last name correctly, but he has not even really been out there for the Lions at all in his career so far. He just had back surgery, so he's out for the rest of this season too. But Nate, tell us a little bit about that other guy and how that was supposed to be people working together.
Well, Levi was supposed to be the 3 technique. Elaine was supposed to be the 0. The 0 is the guy who's going to line up primarily directly over the center, and your 3 is going to be that outside shoulder of the guard, inside shoulder of the tackle, which is and that 3 technique is primarily your pass rusher. So Levi was supposed to be a la Aaron Donald, Fletcher Cox, Geno Atkins, guys that rush the passer. Elaine McNeil was supposed to be Tony Siragusa, Vince Wilfork.
To take up 2 blocks.
Take
up 2 guys, I mean.
Guys that are just going to take up the block, push that center into the back, push them into the backfield so that the running back has nowhere to go. But Levi, again, I was actually kind of high on him, when he was coming out of Washington. But again, your best ability is your availability, and he hasn't had one yet. So good luck, man. Young fella, hope you heal up so that Elaine can get
rest
some help.
up, but ice up, buddy.
That's it.
But you guys would agree that if Levi was out there and healthy and playing to his full potential, the way that we thought, then him, Aiden Hutchinson, like we would be having a feast every single Sunday, correct, fellas?
Yep, and that'd take a lot of pressure off them linebackers too, man, if they were out there, for sure.
So let me see if we got another one here. We do actually. So these are linebackers, top linebackers in the league. We don't have anybody 1 through 18, but we do have Malcolm Rodriguez at number 21. So wanted to obviously give him some love. He's been playing great. So moving on here, we got tackles, I believe this is. Penei Sewell is number 11 right now, so that's really good. And then I believe we have another one. Yeah, Taylor Decker is number
41.
So that's the situation for our tackles. And we got a photo here that Bobby submitted. So Bobby, tell us about this photo, my friend.
Man, one of my good friends growing up, we was playing basketball way in 6th grade. He taught me what the give and go was, man. He said, "This gonna be you, Bobby." So I thought that was super damn funny, man. My good brother Vaughn, man.
So there are 4 skeletons on the screen.
Oh my God.
So you
I
got
know.
Nate,
It was so funny,
Kelee,
man. I seen it
Bobby,
early
and
this morning.
Reggie. Which one's me? I'm curious.
I don't know. You probably in the middle, man.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, man, they need to stop, man. Man, when I seen that, he said he took the picture himself. And I said, damn.
Right.
I'm thinking, like, I know this whole time he taking the picture, he was waiting to show it to me, man. I woke up this morning and seen that, I started busting out rolling, man. Yeah, but that, you know, being a Lions fan, you got to have a good sense of humor, man. I don't ever, you know what I mean? Because honestly, stuff like that is super duper funny, man. And it was on a Facebook post, and I directly told them, "What y'all always coming for my boys? They gonna prove you on one. I'm not gonna be no damn skeleton. I'm gonna be live and kicking when we win that whole thing." So
I feel like for me, it's gonna be like that movie, Bicentennial Man, where Robert Williams is waiting to be granted being a human, and he finally gets it and he passes away. It's gonna be like that. We're gonna kick like a game-winning field goal, and then I'm just gonna go on to heaven.
Yeah.
But anyway.
Yeah.
So we have
my wife always say sprouting up daisies. So when they win, I'm like, okay.
So we're gonna keep the show moving here. That was by the numbers. Hopefully we did Reggie proud. I know we spent a little bit longer than we normally would on that, but hopefully you enjoyed it.
Because we ain't Reggie. You know, Reggie probably got that brain to spit.
Reggie do his
So what we're going to do right now is we're going to look at our On the Hunt Prospect Watch. This is the review portion. So we're not showing you new players yet. We will towards the end of the episode. But these are players that we thought did really well last week. I want to tell you how they all did that we talked about. So I'm going to, again, stop my video here. I'm going to share my screen, and I really, really hope this works. Let's see. So you should be seeing the box score of a certain game from Saturday on the screen right now. Fellas, can you confirm that?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so I'm going to start off by talking about the 2 guys that I suggested to you last week. So let's start off with Jahmyr Gibbs. Jahmyr Gibbs, I thought, had a really, really good game. Of course, if you're looking at the rushing totals, Jahmyr Gibbs, 24 carries, 103 yards. He was averaging 4 yards a carry, and he got him.
He was making a miss, too. He was making a miss.
3 touchdowns. So we'll start with Jahmyr Gibbs. Bobby, you had already started kind of talking there. So tell us a little bit about what you thought of Jahmyr Gibbs when you watched.
I watched the Alabama game because it was actually the game of the week, believe it or not, to me. And I was pleasantly surprised that all my brothers I do a podcast with, guys doing their thing. Especially Reggie guy, your guy, but just keep on Mr. Gibbs, though. He is elusive. And the thing I like about him, you need more than one guy to really stop him. One guy is not gonna do it. He's not, like similar to what Deuce Stanley was saying, the Swift man. He bringing the havoc. He ain't trying to run out of bounds or none of that stuff. He can catch the football. I didn't really watch his pass pro because that's the main thing I look at running backs. Is if you can't block, you ain't gonna be out there as much. But I was pleasantly surprised at his elusiveness. He got a nice first step. He got great vision and speed, and he explosive too. Yeah, I got 2 thumbs up for him. I could easily see him in the Lions uniform. So, what you think?
Thoughts on Jahmyr Gibbs?
He, like I say, like Bobby pretty much summed it up, man. Especially in that game, he was rarely actually brought down by the first guy that got there, which is important, because your line isn't always going to be able to block everybody. They're not going to be able to get you 4 or 5 yards down the field before someone touches you. So his ability to make that first guy miss and continue to move forward, and then he ran with power. That was my one thing I worried about. Is he a scat back? Is he more so of a Dalvin Cook who can go in between the tackles?
He wasn't avoiding nothing. He was covering.
Was he just an outside guy? But I think he rushed for 23, 26 carries and had his 100 yards. And, he followed the game plan. Yes, he has the ability to bounce outside and make guys miss, but he also had that toughness to run right behind his tackles. Right behind his block, put his hand on their back, and I also love the way he directs them. You know, he's a patient runner. He's not overthinking it, and then once he gets it, he's like, all right, guys, I'm out. You know, so hey, Jahmyr Gibbs, 2 thumbs up for me, man. Great look, Elijah.
Thank you. I appreciate that. And you know, for me, what impressed me the most about Jahmyr Gibbs is how often they went to him. Like even when they were down by a lot, and normally you'll see a team like when they get down by a lot, you know, and when I say a lot, I mean 10 points or more.
Yeah, they start
they will abandon the run. They didn't do that because they're like, this guy is so dang good. We can't abandon it because he will get a touchdown. And he got 3 of them against Tennessee's defense. And oh, by the way, his stat line was not just running the ball, 24 carries, 103 yards, 3 touchdowns running, but he also caught 5 passes for 48 yards. And he was averaging 9 yards a catch, which we just got finished talking about how with Jamal Williams, we love Jamal. We love what he, you know, offers to the team. But one thing that he severely lacks is the ability to catch the ball. So if you're looking at it,
he dropped it last week right in his hands.
Exactly. So if you're looking at it and you say, okay, what would have happened if we would have had DeAndre Swift and Jahmyr Gibbs out there? Because you could run the same exact plays you run with Swift with Gibbs.
Exactly.
So, I mean, again, that was my thought on that. So let's move over to my other guy that was in this game. And I'm going to try not to pound my chest on this one, but I was so damn proud of this kid.
Hey, pound your chest, dog. Pound your chest.
Yeah, Elijah, every time he made a play, I was looking like, damn, that dude was on it. That's, man, Elijah would be knowing what he talking about.
You know, and it's funny because obviously my day job is a radio show. And one of the big parts of my radio station is talking about sports. And so I've been talking about this Tennessee team, even though I'm a Georgia Tech fan, I've been talking about this Tennessee team for the last 4 weeks, trying to convince people that, hey, this Tennessee team is different. Like people really need to pay attention. And, you know, this was that moment for me where it all kind of paid off. But for Hendon Hooker, I'm just so proud of this kid. And the reason why is because he did something that you don't see a lot of quarterbacks against Alabama do. And here's what that is. He got his team up with a lead, and he was able to fend off the comeback from Alabama. Even when they got the lead, he still had enough ice in his veins, if you will, to bring his team back. Every time Bryce Young went out there and did something amazing, Hendon Hooker's like, okay, guess I got to go do something else.
Right.
Yep.
And you don't see that. You just don't see that when teams play Alabama. Usually you'll see a team get up on Alabama, and then all of a sudden Alabama starts coming back and the team's like, well, at least we can brag about the fact that we, you know, had the lead against Alabama for 10 minutes. And it's like Tennessee said, no, that's not good enough. Let's finish this game. And they did just that. The one knock that I guess people could say about Hendon Hooker is that he threw all 5 of his touchdowns to the same guy, but I really don't see that as a negative. But Hendon Hooker for the day, 21 out of 30, 385 yards, 5 touchdowns, 1 interception. On the ground, he ran the ball 14 times for 56 yards. I'm going to go with Bobby first. Bobby, your thoughts on Hendon Hooker?
I actually like him. I'm a fan of his decision making. I know you remember in the game, they kept doing like a no huddle, and then they had a little read option, and then sometimes he keep it and turn the corner with it. I love that, man, because they was all crashing in. He knew exactly when to get them 56 yards out of them. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So I'm a fan of his decision making, and then they as far as his court is passing to the same guy all the time, he was open. Throw it to the open down man. So I'm a fan of that. And then see, all 5 of them touchdowns didn't seem forced. So I'm a fan of his decision making and his IQ. I think he is a Sunday player, definitely. I don't know about first round pick. So far, I need to see a little bit more on him, but he's playing on Sunday, no doubt about it. What you think, big dog?
Well, Hendon Hooker, man, like I say, I was already familiar with him, but like I said, this was a very big game because when you're talking about going to the next level, Alabama is like that gatekeeper.
Yeah.
You know, everybody know that the SEC is, you know, considered the perennial powerhouse conference of college football. So but it also, what Hendon Hooker showed was that he has very good touch. He had a tell whether it's cover 2, whether they're in cover 4, whether they're in cover 3, he knew how to beat it. He stayed under control, and hey, he regardless if he could say, hey, he forced it to one guy. That just means only the one guy was getting the separation, because
he was
for
open.
Guy to have yardage, hey, that was on Nick Saban to make some type of adjustment to stop it, but they did not. So hey, you don't fix what's not broke.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that is, of course, Jahmyr Gibbs, Hendon Hooker, but there was another player in this game that Reggie talked about. And Nate, I want to toss it over to you here for Henry To'o. What'd you how did you feel about him? He had 8 total tackles, 5 solo tackles in this game.
Yeah, well, like we say, one thing that To'o is, he's a very sure tackler. He's got a pterodactyl wingspan for a linebacker. So once he gets his hands on you and he gets those arms on you, you're done. You're going down. And also, there is no extra yardage. So when he puts his hands on you, it's pretty much stopping there, which is actually good, because you never want to be a linebacker seeing them getting dragged 4-5 yards like we did with Tavai. But To'o definitely, man, he definitely shuts it down. Regardless what Tennessee was still able to do, as far as the running game, when it came to him getting the man on the ground, when it came to him being sure tackle, hands down, he did everything you could ask for, win, lose, or draw. So To'o definitely, man, lived up to the stock. I didn't see him in coverage as much as I still would like to, but as far as the run game, as far as being able to be that linebacker spot when you have a mobile quarterback, hey, he did what he could do. So hey, To'o definitely gets a passing grade.
Bobby, what were your thoughts on To'o?
He gave me a honey badger vibe. You remember
Tyrann
Matthews when he was with LSU? Yeah, man. He had the honey badger get what he want type thing, take what he want type vibe. I like him. He's explosive. I think like Nate said, his arms is long enough. So since I didn't see him in coverage, I believe he handles big, because the long arms make a lot. It obstructs the quarterback windows, how he throw it in there and stuff. But the main thing, he's physical. Like Nate said, they ain't falling forward; they falling backwards.
Right. That's
yeah. He doesn't. He ain't hesitating. They throwing stiff arms out. He knocking them out. He coming. He ain't playing. He gonna wreak some havoc on Sundays. Now he looked like a first round talent as far as just his sheer athletic ability. He kind of, and you remember your guy Simmons. Yeah, he kind of remind me of that too. So I think he's the prototype. He's the prototype of what you want at that position. Like Nate said, I would love to see him make some plays in coverage. That's going to come, because as the season go on, you'll get more film on that. But honestly, I was not disappointed in what I seen from all the guys we talked about. Honestly, I just felt like I'm an expert now because I'm in the room with these dudes, man. So, what'd you think, Elijah?
Well, so I'm just going to tell myself and be honest, okay? Because if I'm anything, I'm honest. I was not paying attention one iota to Henry To'o because
he was making plays though.
I was enamored. I was enamored with Hendon Hooker and what he was doing to that Alabama defense. And again, I'm a Georgia Tech fan, but I was on the edge of my seat the entire night, being like, man, don't make me look stupid to the guys in the podcast. Like, come on now. And like I think it was 2 back-to-back plays where the mistakes happened for Tennessee. They had an interception and then they had a fumble. And I'm like, man, I will not hear the end of this if this man comes out here and throws 3 interceptions to end this game. And then when they finally kicked that field goal, that's when I went, oh crap, there was another guy I was supposed to be watching the entire time. So I'm telling on myself, I did not see at all. But I do believe, in what Reggie's saying and what you're saying and what Nate's saying. that this guy's going to be pretty good. Plus, he plays for Alabama. So, I mean, usually.
It was a good game. It was a good game.
Yeah,
It was a good game.
And I can tell you what, I am thankful to not be an Alabama player having to go to practice with Nick Saban after that one. Because I think they had close to 20 penalties, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm sure.
And I remember that dude, he dove on the ball. Thought the other dude touched it, and he didn't even dive on the damn ball right. I'm like, dude, that's who I didn't want to be. Like, dude,
you're talking about on the punt, right?
Yeah, number 54.
That was crazy.
So,
that was
I said,
crazy.
I hope Nate. You better hope Nate ain't watching. That's what I was thinking. Because Nate will get him.
So Nate, your guy, I don't think your guy played, and I don't think that Bobby's guy played, but I want to give you guys the floor here for about a minute or so if you want to talk about your guy Nate first.
But again, I just want to reemphasize, like I said, a lot of people probably aren't familiar with Antonio Johnson, but you're talking about a kid that's 6'3", 205 pounds, safety that you can put him. He can play the 4-2-5, or he can play the traditional 4-3. You could either leave him at safety, or you could convert him to a linebacker, because he has that type of skill. He has that type of physicality. He has that type of cover. So, something like that, you can't really miss, and there's certain things that you cannot teach. One thing you cannot teach is God-given ability, which is what Antonio Johnson has. He has a God-given ability. And hey, it doesn't matter what you do to it. You can't teach it.
Yeah. Who they play who they play this week? Do you know? I ain't mean to put you on the spot either, big dog, like that either.
I totally forgot.
I got you, Nate. I got you. Hang on. So
I'm sorry, big dog.
Texas A&M football. They are going to be playing South Carolina, 7:30 Saturday. That should be a good test for them.
So, and then, like I say, South Carolina's going to run the ball a lot. And then, so you're going to see Antonio is really in that linebacker position, and he's going to be in that spy position. So, this is set up for a get up for him. So you go out here, you neutralize the quarterback, make sure he doesn't break contain, and you're able to sit here, you're able to cover the tight end and limit South Carolina offense. Hey, I have no problem with it. Like I say, get out there, continue to be the violent hitter that he is. Don't fall for the double moves, and just be physical. And I think it'd be all right. I really do. I can see him in a Lions jersey. I can see Jahmyr Gibbs in a Lions jersey. I can see Hendon Hooker in a Lions jersey, or Noah Sewell. So, man, it's so wide open, man.
Yeah.
Now, Bobby, your guy is going to be having a date with one of the quarterbacks who does not get a lot of love nor fans at home games, Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Nate had mentioned him earlier, and I was so happy that somebody else knew about this kid, because I feel like UCLA, they're having a great year. They're 6-0 right now, ranked 9th in the country, and they got 15 fans at the games for their home games.
There's a lot of other stuff to do in LA, man.
I guess so, but this game's going to be in Oregon, and you got Noah Sewell, or as you like to call him, and I like your way better, Noah Sewell.
Yeah, well, my boy Noah Sewell. Yeah, he had a bye week last week, but I just want to talk more about what he got in front of him this week with, like you said, number 9 UCLA. When you're scouting players potentially to draft, you always look at conference games and rivalry games and the games against, especially the top 10, because typically those are the teams that have the pro talent, that to be the closest to the pros without being the pros. And you got all the fans hyped up, and every seat gonna be filled. So it's all lights are gonna be on you. Like my guy Deion Sanders used to say, big time players make big time plays and big games. So this is what I'm looking at. If I can make sure I watch this, which I probably will, I want to see how is he? Is he a guy that's just the calm killer? Or is he the rah-rah, bang my head in the into the locker kind of guy. I just want to see what he is, because typically these are the games where will make or break your college scouting. Because if you do bad in these games, every time most of the time when you're in that draft, you're gonna have to explain what was going on with that. So I'm betting on his pedigree, basically, because his brother, Mr. Sewell, we have already. Panay Sewell, right? Mr. Panay is already on our team, so I believe he's already ready for the pros. I just want to see what I believe come in fruition, and I think he's going to be all right. But hey, Nate, it's time for your inside the den, man. What you got good for us this week, man?
Oh man, listen. So normally we do the restaurants and all that type of stuff, but a couple of weeks ago, during the preseason, I told people, I gave people an idea as far as taking the queue line, parking on Woodward, taking that queue line directly downtown and taking it right to Ford Field. Now, you can't take the queue line directly to Ford Field, but if you can take that queue line right there to Campus Marshes, or you can take it right there to Madison, and you can walk down to Ford Field. In between, when you take that queue line, man, you get all type of scenery. You can see Comerica Park, you can see Little Caesars Arena, you can see Fox Arena. I'm sorry, Fox Theater. It's all type of stuff. So what we've been ready to do, guys. So as soon as I can get my guy Elijah, so we're going to take you guys on a little bit of virtual what do we want to call this? Excursion.
Excursion. Okay, I like that.
Virtual excursion.
So I'm gonna stop my video here, Nate, and Nate, just let me know when this is up on the screen for you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. There we go. We are up on the screen. So, all right, guys, what I want people to pay attention to right now, to the right side, right where that arrow is, you see those tracks right there. Those are the tracks of the queue line. Now, if you guys remember the old, let me see, what was it, Full House or San Francisco, you had the trolley that would go on those rails. Now, ours does not look like a trolley. It pretty much looks like an Amtrak train, but it is called the queue line. It's above ground. It is not a subway. And you can take that queue line, which is free. You take that queue line, take it to wherever you want to go. So to the left, we're going to have Comerica Park, and to the right is going to be Fox Theater. So, for guys, if you ever wanted to go to a concert or a comedy show, you don't know where the Fox is, this is where you're at. You're right on Woodward. Right on Woodward, in between 75 and Grand River. So what we're going to do now we're going to go ahead. This is actually going south. Even though it looks like we're going north, we're actually going to go south. So go ahead, Elijah, let's take them on the ride. So right now we're going down Woodward right now. And so what we're going to see is off to, there we go. Keep going. We're going to go down. There you go.
Dave Chappelle.
There's Dave Chappelle. That's also the Fillmore. That is also another theater where you have concerts. Man, you have comedy shows, you have everything at the Fillmore. So that's where that's at. Same route. You cannot beat it. So go ahead, continue on that route. Let's keep it going. We're heading down Woodward, guys. So keep going. We're going to continue to head south. Yep, a little further. And slow down a little bit. Move a little. Go backwards. Bag up phone.
Yeah.
Okay, so right above us, actually. So not only this actually here used to be the people mover. So where the queue line actually is on the street, the people mover used to be floating across the top, almost like the Jetsons type thing. And as you see, you rode across the top, And that was your travel throughout the city as far as downtown. So that was called the People Mover. When I used to ride it, it was like 25 to 35 cents on there. I don't know who Durango that is, but that truck's not important. It's actually an ugly color. But
they crazy, man.
Okay, so if you're going to go ahead, I think we can make a left here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
Okay, yeah, we're going to continue to take this around. And this is Withers. We're going to take Withers all the way to to East Adams. As you see, you're going to see, keep going, because what is that? I think there, you do a little bit further, go down.
Yep, bust that left. Bust that right, I mean.
Bust the right. So this is East Adams. Don't worry about the do not enter sign. So now we're going to take East Adams straight down, and this is going to run us directly into Ford Field. As you see, now, I promise you guys, it is not as far as it looks. It's only because we're doing this satellite and take you on the street view. So remember, you're going south on Woodward. You're going to bust a left on Withers, and then you can hit South Adams, and it takes you directly to Ford Field. You know, there's multiple ways that you can take it, but this is just actually one of my favorite ways because I use the parking garage. So this is one of the ways that I love to take. And so once again, I want to say, guys, thank you. Welcome for tuning in to Inside the Den.
That good looking, Nate. I needed that, man. I needed that. I'm going to a couple games this month, and I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Nate way.
Ain't you?
Huh?
I said you're going to the Miami, right?
Miami and Green Bay back to back. I'm driving to Detroit back to back weekends, brother.
All right, now we'll shoot. Go ahead and talk to him about that merch.
Well, actually, before we do that, we almost forgot to do the thing that people love the most. That's right. That's right. Sponsored by Hennessy. So go ahead and show that bottle, Nate. Show that bottle.
Yeah, brought to you by Hennessy.
Hold on. It slipped my mind, and we forgot the SBA, the Stupid Boi Award. Ooh. Ask that. Y'all hear me? We got two of them this week.
Two of them.
We don't have an uno. We have a dos. First, even though we did have a bye week, it's just as a lot of people know, in order to win the contests, you win the prizes, you have to be subscribed to the channel, but you also have to be a part of our Facebook group. And our Facebook group is called Real True Detroit Lions Fans. You have to be a part of this group. Otherwise, you will not know if you win or not. So there was a guy who actually took it upon himself to make a false accusation that we run scams. I'm sorry, Mr. Stupid Boy, but unfortunately, this is not a GoFundMe. This is not funded by us taking donations from people. We do not ask for money. Anything that we do, as far as our contests and the prizes that are given away, they come from the podcast crew. And 90% of this, actually 99.9% of this, comes from your number one fan that most likely y'all all know, that boy Bobby Blitz.
Shut up, Nate. You crazy.
But I'm just saying, so I just want people to know that hey, this isn't things that are coming out of the closet. We're not knocking dust off. Bobby is going above and beyond.
Brand new.
Buying things out of his own pocket.
Mm-hmm.
We don't ask for money. That's not what we do. This is coming straight out of Bobby's pocket. So that's why we'll get into the sponsorships later on. But that's why that's important. So the second Stupid Boy, I've never seen something like this before. Our boy Robbie Anderson.
Oh my God, man.
Robbie. You got into it with the intern. The interns send you to the locker room.
Crazy.
You wake up the next morning, you done got shipped to Arizona. There is an old saying. You only pick battles you can win.
Yeah, man. I was under like, what he's confused about. You didn't argue with the man 3-4 times, and then you looking like, well, why me? Why me? Like, dude, come on, man.
I don't know what he was thinking. I don't know what type of. I don't know. Maybe his queue line didn't make it all the way downtown. But
damn, Nate.
Dude, get sent to the showers mid-game. Hey, listen, I don't want to talk to you no more. Go ahead, go take your pads off.
Yeah, dude didn't even get mad or nothing. Like, dude, bye. Like,
he was just like, you're like, what?
He didn't even react to him.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. We done with you. We're done here. So everybody, again, sorry about that, but that was our SBA. Remember, I didn't put his name out there, but he know who he is. You know, scams. We also don't do free publicity. We don't do free sponsorships either. So you know who you are, and we know who you are. So that was one SBA. And the other SBA went to Mr. Robbie Anderson. So now it's time for that good old merch alert.
All right. Now, Bobby, real quick, before I pull everything up on the screen, if you just want to show folks that T-shirt again that we're giving away, just go folks about the contest, and then I'll pull up that screen for you. So, folks, again, we are running the contest. We are giving away things. No, you don't have to give any money to the Prince of Nigeria in your email or anything like that. This is a actual, real sideline issue style shirt that you'll be wearing the same thing the guys wear on the sidelines. It is brand new. It is 3XL, and you can win this by leaving as many comments as you can on this video, liking this video, subscribing to our YouTube channel, and don't forget to go on the hunt looking for videos to like on this page. We want to see you like as many videos on our YouTube channel as possible, whether they're Lions related or not. And those folks who do are going to get a little extra credit on the wheel this week. So remember, we put all the names on a wheel so that it's fair. And if you want your name to appear more than once, make sure you're leaving more than one comment. So good luck to you. And bring them out. With that, we are going to go ahead and I'm going to stop my video once again here. And we are going to go ahead to something that I think is super cool. Merch alert with a new gadget. Let's see how it goes. Bobby Bless, take it away, my friend.
Yeah, guys, it's Halloween time, and just because it's Halloween, there's still no excuses. You got to be a Lions fan, right? So So as the Lions fan I am, man, I try to make every holiday a Detroit Lions thing, even 4th of July, to be honest with you. But Halloween is more of the holiday for the season, and there's a lot of Halloween football stuff, specifically with the Lions that I was looking at. And if Elijah, if you want to click on that first one, that first one with the blue, yeah, that one right there, man. This is what I'm talking about right here, brother. I love this hat. That dude, it reminds me of like the what was that? The Nightmare Before Christmas kind of like.
Nightmare Before Christmas.
That's what it kind of that. Yeah, that's super duper sweet, man. And I just love all that kind of little stuff. That stuff like that, people will ask you, where did the hell you got it? So when you do, make sure you spread the love, man, because a lot of people can't get access, or they're not crazy in Detroit Lion merchandise like your boy right here. So you just want to make sure you spread the love and stuff. But as we go, we're not done looking at this. Elijah, if you don't mind, let's show some more of this stuff. That's like the Nightmare Before Christmas thing. And then let's see, what's that one? Is that Snoopy and Peanuts gang right there? I can't see. Yeah. Oh, that is super. So yeah, who don't like Charlie Brown, Halloween, and all that stuff? What'd you say? I don't like them shoes. That's what you was talking about.
No. I said I don't like them Daisy Dukes. I'm definitely not getting
those. No, man. I don't got nothing to do.
Hey, no hoochie daddy shorts this way.
Yeah, I'm about to say the who The Hoochie Daddy is sold separately, just to let you guys know. The Hoochie Daddy shorts are sold separately. But I do like, man, go to another one, man. Nate, you just messed that up, man. Come
okay, all right, let's find another one. Let's find another one.
Yeah, but I seen one on there that got the Grinch on there or something like that. I thought I seen that on there.
What is that?
I will look for that one next, Bobby, if you want to talk about this.
Yeah. What's this one? This is my human costume. Oh my God, that is too cool. That is super cool. Nah, this one I didn't see. Thank you for clicking on this, big dog. I like this, man.
No.
That's the kind of boy. I love that sarcasm, man. Heck yeah. I can see. You might see that real soon. I'm glad you clicked on that.
And you can do different colors on these too.
Yes, you can, but I don't know, man. When it's stuff like this, I want it to be the 10 colors though. Just me personally. But there's still no excuses. You got to be a Lions fan. That's the skull one. What's that one to the third one? The third one right there. What is that? I can't. When you click on it, I can see it. But I have ordered from this site too. For me and my wife. We have ordered that. Oh, I like that too. What is that? Is that Jason in the middle of him?
Yeah, that's
Jason Freddy.
Michael.
That's hard.
That is a hard shirt. I actually like that shirt.
That's hard, ain't it, man?
I mean, I might be caught with them Hoochie Daddy shorts on it for that shirt. I'm just kidding.
Man, they keep advertising them Hoochie Daddies. I see that. But somebody trying to
listen. I'm 6'3". Ain't no way I'm gonna walk around with no Hoochie Daddy shorts on. I'm 6. Now maybe if I was a little bit shorter, where I didn't have as much leg, possibly. But nah, I'll pass on that.
Oh man. Okay, so one question that I have to ask you, Bobby, before we get too much further down here, I'll pull up another shirt here while we're talking. Where did you find this website? Because this looks like it's off the beat.
My wife is the internet shopping guru. As I said, we stay away from China. So this is an American company. I can't think of the city it's out of, but it definitely didn't take it took me about 3 to 5 business days to get this shirt because I have 2 shirts. I brought one for me and my wife. And we just were looking for it. We just Googled Halloween NFL, and honestly, this is one of the sites that came up. And we go through it, make sure they in America, of course, and then we just got in their search engine, put our lovely Detroit Lions and her team that's up north that wear green and yellow up in there, and got some cool stuff. Got some cool stuff, man. They got more than that too. It don't have to be team related. Like I said, they got a lot of good saying.
Look out! I saw Mickey. Hang on, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Disney folks because I know. So this
I seen Mickey. They got a like a Grinch that stole Christmas shirt on here too. Yeah, he had like the blue Lions logo and stuff.
Let me try to get this one to pop up here, if it will let me. There we go.
Yeah, there we go.
Is that Mickey?
That's deep. I can't see.
That's Mickey.
Yeah, that's man. They got some great graphics on here.
Oh, that's
some
cool.
Great graphics. I like the fire under there. I ain't never seen Mickey mad though. That's interesting.
Right.
So hey, there you go.
PG-13. We still keep.
Oh yeah, and no Hoochie Daddies either. So that's even better.
So for folks watching this video, if you're looking for this website or you can't clearly make it out on your screen, write this down. WENIGOS.com. Again, that is WENIGOS.com. That is what this website is. And of course, you can probably just search Detroit Lions merchandise and it will pop up for you. Let's see. We got one more here that I can show. This is interesting. It's got the backside view of the shirt. So I'm wondering what the front side view of it is because it says Scream, but I don't see any logo on it. So, okay, we'll move on.
Oh, that's scary. Yeah, that is scary.
And then I think that might be it on here, Bobby. I didn't.
But the one at the very bottom of the page,
Right here.
I brought. That's the exact shirt I brought. I would like to show it if you don't mind, big.
Yeah,
big
for sure. Let me stop sharing the screen here. I'll pin you.
Yes, sir.
So camera's on you, my friend.
Okay, here you go.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the guy.
Right there, Bobby.
What'd you say?
No,
I got it.
Right there, perfect.
Oh, right here.
Yes.
Yeah, don't move.
That looks good, Bobby.
Yeah, and I got a hat to go with it too. Let me get it out here. It's just a regular old orange little construction hat looking thing. And this is the Detroit Lion one. And as I said,
what was a t-shirt? It's a
sweatshirt. It's a sweatshirt. I don't plan on wearing nothing. I don't plan on wearing no coat with this. That's why I said I didn't want a t-shirt. I wanted a sweatshirt. And they also have hoodies too on that side. We didn't make it that far on there. So when you want to make sure when you shop, you want to make sure you look at it all, my man, because this is what I decided. I don't like hoods on mine per se, but this one was cool. And I'm gonna throw this nice little orange Lion hat to go with it. And then, like I told you, my wife, she got some team up north that wears green and yellow. And I also.
Oh no, that one's got throw up on it.
Hey, look, I heard her in the background. She's talking about
She's about to throw something at me, dog.
I heard her too.
Hey, y'all putting my life in danger, man.
Oh man.
Oh,
I would send that back. They got.
But it's a beautiful thing when your wife loves sports. So that's all I can say. So we kind of excited about going to our game. We're going to the Packers-Lions game. This is going to be my wife's first time because she's from Mississippi. This is going to be her first time actually seeing her team in person. So I'm kind of excited for her.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I'm kind of excited for her. But yeah, that Halloween merchandise is pretty good, my man. This one, that one, whatever. But this one is all the way us,
That's all the way live.
Yeah, but my wife love her team so much, she ready to throw something at me, man.
Okay, so we're gonna change the subject then.
Yeah, we're gonna change the subject, please, real quick.
So let's talk about our next opponent. Obviously, we got Dallas this week. This is a big game for the Lions, an opportunity to get back to their winning ways, hopefully. And what we want to do here is we want to break it down by position. So we're going to start off with the quarterbacks. I'm going to keep my comments brief here because we still have a lot of stuff to get to in this show, believe it or not. So when it comes to quarterbacks, this is what I'm looking for. On the Dallas side of things, I would like to know who is starting at quarterback for them. I've heard on Twitter that we could see Dak Prescott this week. I've also heard on Twitter that we could see Cooper Rush this week. They're two very different quarterbacks. They do not do the same thing for their team. So for Aaron Glenn, whose defense has already been admittedly struggling, that is something that has got to be difficult for him this week, having a game plan for two different quarterbacks that do two completely separate things. Now, for Dak Prescott, one thing that could work in our favor is the fact that I feel like he is going to be playing with insecurities. Here's what I mean by that. For folks who are like, what are you talking about? He's an NFL player. He has mattress commercials. He gets a great night's sleep. How in the hell is he insecure?
It's so damn silly, man.
He has a gigantic contract with the Cowboys. But if you remember how he got his job because Tony Romo got hurt and could not stay on the field. And the guy behind him took advantage of the opportunity. And of course, the guy behind him in that scenario was Dak Prescott. Cooper Rush has taken full advantage of his opportunity to show what he can do for the Dallas Cowboys. Now, I'm not saying that Cooper Rush is going to be the starting quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys for years to come. I'm not saying that at all. But what I am saying is Dak Prescott's been seeing the way that people talk about Cooper Rush. He's been seeing the way that his own fan base has almost forgotten his name because they've been so enamored with winning with Cooper Rush. So if he does play in this game, it would not be a far stretch to me to say that he might be doing stuff that he knows dang well he shouldn't be doing, just to try to play hero ball and try to get that respect back. And when you do that stuff, it can be very dangerous. So if Dak Prescott plays, I would say watch out for that. Watch out for him trying to, get those extra yards or if he's running the ball, try to hit the Lions defender down instead of getting knocked down by the defender. Or trying to throw it in very tight spaces. That's good for us if he goes out there and tries to do that.
You ain't got to worry about that.
But I'm just saying, if he does, that's good for us. That's good for us because that means we can take advantage of that. If he doesn't, obviously you still got to respect him. I think he's a pretty good quarterback. He has not been playing his best ball, though, since he got his contract. And that is something that a lot of people have started to notice. I think he's like 8-6 since getting paid. So that's kind of an interesting stat for folks. For Cooper Rush, for Cooper Rush, again, if he gets the opportunity to play, obviously, he's going to be excited to play. And I think at this point, without putting our team down, we just need to be realistic about this. We cannot overlook anybody at the quarterback position.
No.
There is nobody in this league that we should look at and say, well, we're going to dominate that quarterback. Because we had Zappy and we had Geno Smith, and we made both of them look like they were fantastic.
But to that detriment, they actually did that the next week to another team too. So it's not just us.
Right.
So make sure we want people to know it just wasn't us. Yeah, as we seen, Geno is top 5 according to PFF. So
yeah. But my point is, don't, if you're a Lions fan, don't go into this game thinking that we got to win just because Cooper Rush is playing quarterback. And as far as our quarterback is concerned, Jared Goff, I would like to see us protect him a little better. I felt like he was getting hit way too much in that New England Patriots game. And I feel like he probably felt like he had to do things that he doesn't normally do to try to get us back in the game. And that just made things worse. But I would like to see him get back to what he's been doing for the majority of the season, which have been playing really good football. So we'll see what happens against this Dallas team. And I want to send it over to Nate here. For Nate, we're going to go O-line, D-line, and secondary for you, my friend, if you don't mind.
Oh, so I get all this. Okay.
Yeah,
so,
you get all this.
All right. Well, right now, Dallas's O-line is not what it used to be. They're still missing some pieces. They got a lot of injuries, but they still lean heavy on the running game. They lean heavy on the running game and heavy on the play action. So, we definitely got to watch that. At center, they got Tyler, Baez, but I forgot how to pronounce his name. Crap. I cannot remember how to pronounce this guy's name. But anyway, right now he's one of the mainstays on that offensive line, which is their center. Tyron Smith, you still have him. They don't have Lionel.
Is he playing? I thought he was hurt. I thought Tyron Smith was hurt.
No, I'm just saying in general. Okay.
Okay.
He's not playing. That's why I say their line is not what it used to be.
Oh, they're missing. Yeah, they're missing.
No. This is 100%. Their line is not what it used to be. So their line has given up a lot of pressure. So hopefully this is a game where this defense can get back into it. Hopefully we can have that feel-good game, how we did with Washington when we knocked the hell out of Carson Wentz all week. I mean, the whole 48 minutes. So that's what we're hoping for. Now, defensive line-wise, man, Sewell, he's going to have his hands full. You got DeMarcus Lawrence. He's going to have his hands full. DeMarcus Lawrence, man, he's a game wrecker. He is a true game wrecker. He could do power. He could do speed. Man, he has so many counter moves, whether it's a rip.
His hands is lovely. He got good hands.
Whether it's a rip move, whether it's a club move, this is going to be very big for us. And then also in the middle, they have another guy in the middle that they move a lot, man. He's not a guy that you really think about, but Armstrong, man, they move him up and down the line. He's inside, he's outside. And then, of course, you got Micah. but it's crazy because Micah actually is a linebacker / rush in, but majority of the time you seeing him coming out the golf. So it's going to be very big for Jamal Williams to be stout in his pass blocking. If Craig Reynolds is going to play, he's going to be stout in his pass blocking. If DeAndre is able to play, he's going to have to be stout in his pass blocking. The line is going to have to communicate because Dallas runs a lot of stunts, just like we do. They love to overload one side and bring a guy right up the A-gap, and that A-gap is right up the quarterback's face. So
the line got to be chained up. They got to be ready.
I mean, hey, it's got to be like, hell no, we won't go. A protest line. You got to be linked at the elbows because this defensive line, man, is going to be coming. So y'all better be ready. All right, Bobby, what you got, big fella?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with them linebackers, big dog. You got half of my part. Parsons. That's one hell of a chess piece. I kind of wanted him out of when he got drafted, but it just didn't work out that way for various reasons. But the linebackers is going to be real key, especially with our guy Rodrigo. And I want to see, this could be a game we can see something from Mr. Barnes, because it's going to be a physical in between the tackles, especially with Zeke. Because that's kind of more of his wheelhouse is stopping the run. So I want to see him and Rodrigo getting them holes, and we should see more of what we were seeing from Rodrigo. If you remember from Hard Knocks, he was getting in that hole, meeting the running back, getting off a block. So this should be a good game for them guys, because we're gonna need what they do best. And that's getting off of blocks and getting the running back, meeting them in the hole, and trying to get tackles for losses. As far as Dallas, they got that. If I'm not mistaken, they still got the Van Der Esch guy. He's pretty good. As far as a cover linebacker, he's probably going to be the guy that's going to be on Hockenson. So I want to see.
And they got Anthony Barr. Don't forget about.
Oh yeah, I forgot about him. He on there now. That's the dude that used to be in Minnesota, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. He got some long arms. Yeah, I forgot about Anthony Barr. He got super long arms, like we were talking about earlier in the podcast. With a linebacker with long arms always become a problem in coverage, because they can make a mistake and still reach up and affect the play. Exactly. So I'll be looking for TJ Hockenson to make his money this week, and I want to see I want to see our linebackers actually show that we're heading in the right direction, especially with Mr. Barnes, because Rodrigo is more than advertised. Mr. Barnes, we're still waiting for that guy that we drafted from Purdue, that Chris Spielman has so much good words to show up. So this is a kind of a Chris Spielman-like game where it's going to be in the trenches fighting. So I definitely want to see our linebackers not make the next step, but at least start heading that damn direction. Turn your head that direction. So in a good way. But it's going to come down. Hopefully we can withstand. Hopefully with the offense too, with the Dallas linebackers, hopefully we can always know where Parsons at, because even when you do know where he at, he's causing havoc. And then I seen him, he was injured, still being a problem. So he's gonna be a guy you're gonna have to worry about from the kickoff, from the beginning to end. And I want to see if we can do something too, since our receivers should be somewhat healthy. I want to see what we can do to confuse that secondary. They take a lot of risks. Out there. So I want to make sure we can expose that, because all summer we were seeing digs. But as far as the linebackers, I'm gonna be homed in on the linebackers, see if we growing and going the right way. And I'm a bet on them this week. I think they're gonna do good, man. I think they're gonna be a pleasant surprise. So what you think, Elijah? You ready? You got some take on this?
I think the biggest thing for the Lions is, getting back on track offensively. You know, when you, like we talked about it last week, you know, every single greatest defense, every single greatest offense, they all face that one game where they questioned their own identity and they said, are we really that good? Or have we been playing a bunch of chumps to this point? And
Right.
I think for the Lions offense, for them to get their mojo back, they need to get the lead early in this game and they got to keep pouring it on. And if they can do that, then I think we'll be in decent shape. If they get down early, you know, that would be my concern. If you get down early and you come back, because there's a stat out there, I don't have it in front of me, but there's a stat out there that the Lions have not actually completed a comeback victory that many times under Dan Campbell. We've made a lot of efforts to come back, but we've always fallen short. And
Right.
there's a lot of people in our fan base who try to use that as a moral victory. And they say, well, look, we were close. And unfortunately, close doesn't cut it. As we talked about before, with Hard Knocks and everything, people are looking at this team like they should be going to the playoffs this year and not the fact that this is the second year of a rebuild. So as far as this game is concerned, Lions have got to get their mojo back on offense. And I want to see what happens with this defense. I mean, I still believe in Aaron Glenn. I know people don't want to hear it, but I still believe that there is a talent gap on that defense.
It is.
I want to see what he can do against this Dallas team that I think is beatable, in my opinion. Nate, you got sponsorships, my friend. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, everybody, that's time for that sponsorship thing. And as we say, you know, the purpose of sponsorships, guys, is to reach a bigger audience than you know, use us. Let us be a platform to get your business out there. You know, you never know who's watching this podcast. You never know who's subscribed to the YouTube channel. You know, they may hear your business. It may tickle something in their ear and be like, you know what? That sounds like something I need to be a part of. So, you know, that's why it is so important for sponsorships. Because like I said, the idea of sponsorships is to develop strong relationships between the business and its customers. So this is why it's so important. So, hey, listen, we are here. We are here. Use us. Let us help you. That is the purpose. So remember, guys, you know, hey, if you want to appear on the show, it's $80. You know, if you want to sponsor a segment, simple. If you want to sponsor our new segment where we're talking about the prospects, whether you want to do merch alert, whether you want to do by the numbers, that's $60 per episode. You know, I'm sorry, per segment. Now, if you want to sponsor the entire episode where we talk about you, hey, welcome everybody. This is On the Hunt. Today's podcast is sponsored by such and such. You will be the first thing that they hear right after us. When we give out our name, it'll be the name of your business. When Elijah is doing his closing remarks, it will make sure that, hey, he specifies that you have sponsored this show and that he will let people know, hey, go check this person out, check out their business, see what they got going on. So, hey, don't be shy. Hey, use the guys.
Yeah, feel that.
I love it. I love it.
Go Prospect Watch.
And just a quick reminder for the contest, make sure you're leaving comments, make sure you like the video, make sure you subscribe, and go find some videos on this YouTube channel to like as well. If you're still with us after all this, I know this has been another long episode, but there's just so much content. So we're going to get into some more content right now for you. And I'm going to start things off with some folks that I am looking at that I want you to pay attention to as well. So let me pull that up on my screen here. And folks, I told you last week I'm a Georgia Tech fan. And I am a loud and proud Georgia Tech fan. Just as much as I love my Lions, I love my Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets. And there is one player on this team currently that I think you should be paying attention to. And I want you to know, I'm not just going to throw Georgia Tech players up here every single week. But if they're worth talking about, if I think they help us, then I'm going to talk about them. So we got Charlie Thomas here. He is a linebacker for Georgia Tech. He's 6'2", 207 pounds. He's a senior, but for some reason, he doesn't have a highlight reel anywhere on YouTube. So I can't show you footage of the guy. Otherwise I would, but I can show you stats. Okay.
Hey, can you say his measurements again, if you didn't mind? I heard 6'2". I didn't hear his weight.
6'2", 207 pounds.
Okay.
So he's a little bit of a lighter linebacker than some of the folks that we.
That guy, Will guy.
Now, when he came to Georgia Tech, and this is one of the things that I like about Charlie Thomas. When he came to Georgia Tech, he was not a 4-star recruit. He was not a 5-star recruit. He was somebody that, Alabama would never look at. And the reason why I'm bringing this up is because of the fact that he has grown into a great linebacker through college. He didn't just arrive as a great linebacker. He grew into it. And that's important to me because, now that he's kind of got it figured out, we stand to benefit. But let's look at some of these stats here. So he's been with Georgia Tech since 2018. What I want to focus on here is his last 2 seasons, 2021 and 2022. Now, in 2021, he had 70 total tackles, 35 solo tackles, 35 assists. He had 3 sacks that he accounted for. He had 1 forced fumble and 2 interceptions. That's pretty good.
Damn good.
In 2020, sorry, Nate, go ahead.
I said that's damn good.
Yeah, that's real good.
Make sure you tell them what type of defense they run. Now
I'm getting there. So 2022, so far this season, he's got 52 total tackles, 38 solo tackles, 14 assists, 2 pass deflections, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, and 2 interceptions.
Yeah, he all over the field.
And I should mention something. So Georgia Tech is 3-3. Charlie Thomas has played 4.5 games because he has been hit with the targeting penalty twice. So he has actually been out for half of the game 2 times this season, and he still has those stats.
Right.
This is somebody who runs like his hair is on absolute fire, okay? And he is a sure tackler. He is the heart of our defense. And, oh, by the way, the defense Georgia Tech runs is a 4-2-5. That should
sounds familiar.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly. Now, here's the deal. Georgia Tech's defense this year is ranked number 1 in the ACC for forcing the other team to turn the ball over. And they are ranked 9th nationally when it comes to making other teams turn the ball over. And you will have an opportunity this Thursday night on ESPN, Under the Lights in Atlanta, to see Charlie Thomas and the Georgia Tech Yellow Jackets, who, by the way, are on a 2-game winning streak, by the way.
It's not a streak unless it's 3.
Take on the Virginia Cavaliers, who are kind of struggling this season. But my point with that is you don't got to go search on some random channel to find Charlie Thomas this week if you want to check him out. But if you trusted me when I said check out Hendon Hooker and I said check out Jahmyr Gibbs, trust me again, check out Charlie Thomas. You will not be disappointed. This man is going to make you want him on his defense. And I guarantee you, because of the fact that he doesn't have a highlight reel on YouTube and there's not a whole lot of people talking about him right now, he might actually be somebody that we could get in the 3rd round of the draft. We'll see how that all shakes out. But I know Nate knows a little bit about Charlie Thomas. So Nate, what do you think about him?
Well, again, he's going to bring to the field the same thing that Antonio Johnson does, but Antonio Johnson is just he's more polished, an inch taller, he's bigger, and he's more under control. I also think by Anthony Johnson, being a pure safety, he definitely has better hands. But Charlie Thomas understands his assignment. He's got some discipline issues. He still got to learn how to tackle with his head up, make sure that he's using his shoulder, make sure that he's watching his helmet because he's been hit with targeting twice. And
he don't want to break his damn neck either.
I mean, he's notorious for using the crown of his helmet. So, if he's going to stay in the NFL for a long period of time and be a success, there's some things that he's got to clean up. But as an overall defensive prospect, especially for the defense that we run it, I love it. I love the prospect. Like I say, I've watched them, I've seen it, and right now, if I'm not mistaken, Charlie Thomas, as of right now, he's top 15 of all linebackers. So by the time combine time comes around, end of the year, I can see Charlie Thomas moving up into that top 10 spot, that top 10 area. So again, it's going to be about him staying on the field, him being able to tackle correctly and use proper technique because the talent's there.
Mm-hmm.
He has to use the proper technique and trust in his coaching. Otherwise, man, I have no biggie with that. Back to you, Elijah.
So that's my first guy, Charlie Thomas. Again, you'll have an opportunity to see him should you choose to do so. Again, Thursday, 7:30 ESPN, Georgia Tech hosting Virginia. I'll be watching that game. So, check it out. See number 1 on the field for Georgia Tech on defense, linebacker Charlie Thomas. My second guy that I wanted to bring up today is somebody who is actually a part of a team that I think is absolutely shocking the nation right now. And that is the Syracuse Orange. They are 6-0 on the year. They're not getting talked about a lot because of some of the opponents they've played, but they got a big one coming up on Saturday at noon. It'll be Cinderella. We'll see if the clock strikes midnight against Clemson and Death Valley. 6-0 Syracuse versus 7-0 Clemson. But the guy that I want to show you here is running back for Syracuse, Sean Tucker. I showed you Jahmyr Gibbs. This is a different type of running back than what Gibbs brings. But this is Sean Tucker. I'll let the highlights do some of the talking here. One of the things I love about him, though, is he's a hard-nosed runner. And again, he plays for Syracuse, so there's not a lot of people that know a ton about him. But Syracuse is actually known for producing good running backs back in the day. But again, he is a hard-nosed runner. He kind of reminds me a little bit of Jamal Williams with his North.
I was about to say that. But he can catch too, and that's the other part of it. So not that I'm trying to hate on Jamal Williams with this, but Sean Tucker, I think he's a really good, a good aggressive runner here. It looks like last season he had 1,400 yards rushing and 14 total touchdowns for Syracuse. Syracuse wasn't that good last year. They're really good this year though, and Sean Tucker is a big part of that. Now, if you're looking for his vitals, I'm going to pull those up here real quick. Sean Tucker is, as I'm looking here, he's a he gone.
5'10", 205-pound running back, and he's been in college football for 3 years. So although he's a sophomore, you have to remember, and of course we're going to get a hotels ad. That's perfect. That's what you want. When you're showing highlights, you want to have an ad pop up. So anyway, we'll get back to the highlight here in a second after these 2 ads. That's fantastic. Added to the blooper reel. But hey, at least it's a cute dog and a chicken wing. I can get behind that. And some hot sauce and look at that.
Not busy.
So to go back to what we're actually talking about here with Sean Tucker, 5'10", 205-pound running back. He's listed as a sophomore, but remember, he's played 3 years in college football. So he can come out in the draft should he choose to this season. But, those are my thoughts on him. I know it's kind of brief, but I just think he's a hard-nosed runner. He looks like an old-school running back to me. Nate, what do you think about Sean Tucker as you're seeing him catch a pass here?
Well, like I say, to me, he just reminds me of Jamal Williams. It would be, to me, if he's going to be that complement of DeAndre Swift, we talked about and things that are interchangeable. So you don't want to have the same problem that we have now, which is a guy who's one-dimensional. It puts us back to that age of Theo Riddick and all these guys where you had a lot of specialty backs. So that's definitely what we do not want. We don't want any more specialty backs. But what I can tell you, just looking at him, he's definitely a one-cut and go guy. One part. He runs straight up right. Even for a guy who's 5'10", he runs straight up right. So, he gets the leverage. And you can tell by his lower brace that he breaks a lot of tackles. Look at this. Arm tackles, you're not getting them. First guy that hits him, he's going to get through. He's actually built like Jamal Williams. I don't know if they got the same dance moves, but other than that, man, hey, I've got no beef with it, Bobby.
Yeah, I like him, man. It looked like you said. I like the Jamal Williams type, but the thing I do like about him, man, he is like you said, he's straight up, but you can tell he got some power in them legs, man. Them legs, he all right. You gonna have to wrap him up, and his vision looks pretty decent. But like I always say, Nate, we always say that how he looking pass, bro. It always look good until I get into the pass, bro. So, from what I've seen in this highlight video, I'm pleasantly surprised. As Elijah always do, he give me a different guy to think about. So I'm gonna be looking at this guy and knowing that as much as Elijah right on stuff to do, might get 200 yards this week, man.
So, hey, listen, he pull a Hendon Hooker out.
We gonna see, man. That boy, we might.
And here's the thing, fellas, with Sean Tucker, and the reason why I included him here at the last minute, because I was originally just going to talk about Charlie Thomas, but I threw Sean Tucker in here because
oh my God, he's breaking.
He is climbing the ranks at Syracuse as far as historical stats at the running back position. I mean, this is a school that, if I'm not mistaken, Jim Brown went to.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, we're talking some serious running backs that he is starting to gain position on in their overall. Here he is against Florida State, which is a little more, better competition. But I threw him on here because I wanted to see how.
Yeah, them arm tackles ain't doing nothing for him.
But how does he do against Clemson? He's got a date in Death Valley at noon. I want to see, is he that running back who's going to disappear in that big game? Or is he going to show up like Jahmyr Gibbs did against Tennessee? I know they lost, but Gibbs proved me right on all the things I was talking about. Will Sean Tucker do the same? This is my wild card prospect here for this week. Charlie Thomas is my sure bet because I know he's going to play good. Sean Tucker is my wild card. But those are the two guys that I got, fellas.
All right.
Love it.
All right, Charlie. Mr. Charlie is just a man.
Now, going from one Georgia school to one that makes me want to vomit, we got Mr. Ringo up on the screen. Nate, tell us about Ringo and what we should know about him.
Listen, it depends on what y'all look. Y'all want the weaknesses first, or you want the strengths?
The strengths.
Listen, the strips are like Jeffrey Dahmer's rap sheet. Is that long?
Oh, Lord have mercy.
It's that long. I'm telling you. You talking about 6'2", 205 pounds, long arms. I mean, the dude is so active in the running game and the pass. Like when you see how they highlight him. Look at this. This is then what to what the Lions have been doing. They have been bringing corners off that edge to blitz. Now, he's a very, very good blitzer. And remember, this is your starting corner. This would be your starting corner. You're able to bring him in, depending on the formation, and have him come off that edge as a corner blitz. Like it's and then on top of that, man, he doesn't miss tackles. He literally is top 5 in tackles. You can't beat that. Like I keep telling people, there's certain things you can teach, certain things that are God-given. Just a quick, how many, do y'all remember the national championship game last year?
Yeah.
You had Georgia and you had Bama, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody remember when Bama was driving? Somebody got that 79-yard pick six.
Yeah.
That was Kelee Ringo. Told them, don't me. 79-yard pick six national championship. Sealed the game. Sealed it. He said, listen, you're not going to come here with that. Like, now, on top of that, he's also a former track star. He's going to run the 4.3. I give it to you. With hands down,
there it is. The picture.
There you go.
Look at it. Now look.
They don't be playing, do it.
Now listen.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. So now I'm finna make your eyeballs fall out your head. Y'all ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Usain Bolt Usain Bolt had a 100-yard dash time of 9.69. He had a 200 meters of 19.19. Michael Johnson, 100-yard dash was 10.09.
So he up there then.
His 200-yard dash was 19.32. Now, our guy Kelee Ringo, 100-yard meters, 10.23. 200 meters, 21.18.
He got Olympic speed then. He got that Olympic speed for sure.
He's 6'2", 205 pounds. Tyreek Hill, 5'10", 200 pounds. The 100-yard dash, he ran 9.98. His 200 meters, he ran 2.14. DK Metcalf, 10.37. He didn't run a 200 yards. But what I'm telling you guys is speed, technique, physicality. These are things you cannot teach. And he has excellent ball skills and he's physical. Look at the press coverage. Look at this.
Mm-hmm. His head is turned around the whole time.
And he understands boundaries. Guess what? The out of bounds is my help defender. Yeah. So only thing I got to do is take away the inside. Come up, make a short tackle, man. Hey, like I say, his strengths are long as Jeffrey Dahmer's rap sheet. So I ain't even got to go no further. Like I say, the Olympic speed, the technique, just the pure talent, man, is unmatched. So, hey, up now, my next guy is another Georgia guy. We talked about Aleem McNeil. We talked about Levi having back surgery, and there's our guy, Jalen Carter. When I tell you Jalen Carter is that 3 technique, look at this. Oh. Look at this. He's the opposite of what Jordan Davis was. Jordan Davis was a mammoth of a human being at nose tackle. Jalen Carter is totally opposite. He's got a very strong look at lateral quickness. His pursuit when guys get away outside the tackle box, man, is crazy. But look at the shit.
He just throw him off. He throw him off.
Milk.
Look at milk. He needs some buttermilk.
He need a gun. Shit.
That man needs a doctor.
Shit.
Look at this.
Somebody call his mama.
It was kind of scary when you have this much power, and this is a one-arm tackle. It almost looked like a face mask, but it's just one arm.
No, he nice. He
just
mean too.
One arm, and look at the spin. He completely makes the guy whip. Now look at this.
Oh yeah.
This is the dog pit.
Dang.
This is the dog pit. And that
the other dude was putting up a good fight too, though.
Now the thing about his weaknesses is that he doesn't shed blocks consistently. He can have those flashes, but you get to those elite guys, he doesn't bring it all the time as much as you see. They also use him as a fullback. So that's the only thing that he really has an issue with is shedding blocks. He has a tendency to get lazy, because he should definitely be a lot better than what he is. And you see, listen to this. He even caught a touchdown. That's that same 88 that's rushing the passer.
Yeah.
Out here catching touchdowns.
He like it like a bear that walk like people do. That's how it look.
He is a complete football player. You can put him right next to Aleem McNeil. Since Levi don't want to be healthy, he don't want to stay on the field. You can plug this guy in right now, and I guarantee you, it's going to be it. Listen, it's going to be something fun to see when you got Hutch on one side, and you got this guy coming up the middle, or you've got Hutch, and then you've got Ringo waiting for the ball to come. Either way, our draft picks right here, these prospects watch out of Georgia, are must-see TV. Bobby, what you got, big fella?
Man, I like it, man. You know, when it comes to that trenches, man, you can't be a gentleman. He look like he mean, man. And that's the one of the main things. And then they kept showing that dang on swim move, man. It looked so smooth. He looked big, look like a ninja.
Listen,
300-pound ninja. I like that.
He looked like Donald, but you can't compare everybody to Aaron Donald. But his hand movement, man.
He kind of remind me of Sue a little bit with his hands. Now that I think about that.
A little bit
like Sue with them hands.
He doesn't.
So that was good.
Sue was a ferocious man.
Yeah, mean bastard.
Sue was nasty. Sue would throw your center into the quarterback to get the sack.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So what was another guy? Who was it? I think.
Let's get Reggie guy. We can't forget about Reggie.
Again,
he ain't around, but he ain't forgot either. So,
right.
Again, I don't remember his guy, but I'm pretty sure.
I got it.
I know. I'm pretty sure the resident scout / defensive coordinator got it though.
Trenton Simpson, number 22.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Listen, there's only really 2 linebackers that's going in the first round. Simpson and Bobby, your guy Sewell.
Yeah.
Simpson is, again, he's one of those smaller linebackers, but because of his frame, he's going to. But he comes with bad intentions. The one thing that is going to be questionable is his pass coverage, which is where we missing it with our linebackers. But when you're talking about hitting the quarterback, hitting the hole, tackles for loss, pursuit, ability to find the ball,
he quick off the edge too. He see it and get it.
About him is that he doesn't get fooled by play action. He finds the ball and he has learned how to read the guard. You know, and if people don't know, when you're on defense, the guard tells you everything. The guard tells you where that running play is going to go. He has mastered reading that guard movement. And then, man, he's so fast. So watch him. So right now, he's going to come through that A-gap. Look at this. Right up. Boom.
Boom. That's a nice stunt. Tight.
You know,
nice and tight.
And again, see this one. He wasn't fooled. Simple play action. He did not, when they're doing the play action, I'm sorry, that was an RPO. What the quarterback is doing, he's reading that contained
the edge. Yeah.
Right. So by Simpson not giving up the edge, it was him to give it to the running back. He had to take it. That was very good textbook defense by Simpson. Now
this Louisville quarterback.
That was
God.
Willis.
I thought that was Louisville. My God, he dogged.
But you got to think about it. Malik Willis was at Louisville before he transferred to Liberty.
Oh, see that I didn't know, big dog.
Yes. Yep. Yes, he was. But yeah, man. But also the thing about Simpson, he also plays right behind one of the guys I'm going to do next week on our prospect watch. It's 2 of them, and I'm going to talk about both of those guys next week. So I can't give y'all no tips this week. So y'all got to take that one.
Get well soon, Reggie.
Yeah, but get real soon, Reg. Anybody that missed, man, this is Reggie's guy. This is who he likes. Again, Simpson is going to be a problem, especially going to gain weight. And he's also another guy with the ability to play that 4-2-5. I'm still hoping that along the lines we go from a 4-2-5 to a 4-3 because I think that the way the NFL is built now with all this speed, you need as many linebackers out there as you can. I get it when you're running 5 defensive backs, that's your speed. But the league is so offensive built right now that I really, really think we need that. But right now, man, Elijah, what you got, big fella?
Well, Nate, first I wasn't trying to hurry you, so I apologize for that. But we have got a new segment that we're pretty excited about. We've done it here and there before, but we're really going to get into it now. And it's called Feast, Not Famine. Now, the idea behind this is you might be looking for some game day recipes, something to make for you and your family, you and your friends, whatever your situation might be, so that you can watch the game. And, you know, if everything else goes to hell in a handbasket, you at least have a good meal to eat. So we are going to throw it over to Nate, and Nate is going to tell you about what you might want to consider making for this Sunday. Nate, take away. Let's feast and not have a famine.
I'm gonna give y'all, you know, my nickname is Country. People don't know it, but my original, you know, my family, we're from Monroe, Louisiana. So it's a lot of down home. That's that country strong, you know. So what we're gonna be doing this week, man? We're going to be doing a pot roast. But we're gonna do it Mississippi style, which is where, you know, my dad was from, my stepdad. Columbus, he was from, I'm sorry, not Columbus, he's from Grenada, Mississippi. So with this recipe, you're going to need a chuck roast. This is not, keep in mind, y'all, I want y'all to get your pens out, get your paper, get your pencils. We don't do round roast. You don't need an English roast. You need your chuck roast. A chuck roast is a nice big hunk of meat. You're going to have that fat in there. That fat is where all your flavor is. You know, so you're going to have your chuck roast. You're going to need you some banana peppers. You're going to need you some carrots. You're going to need you some potatoes. You're going to need some cornstarch. That is that foundation. Now, what you're going to do, first of all, you're going to, because I'm going to do mine in my pressure cooker. So the first thing I do is I brown and sear sear it on both sides. Make sure after I done season it, salt, pepper, garlic, push it to the side. Now, in that same pan, you know, now you're going to put your onions, you're going to put your bell pepper, you know, so that you start your, this is the basis for your gravy and your roux. So this is going to go into the crock pot, you know, with everything else. So you start that out, you add your cornstarch, add a little bit of water. So you're not thickening. You only need maybe like a half a cup of water. That's all you're going to do. You're going to take that roast. You're going to put this in your crock pot, your regular pot, or your pressure cooker. You're going to pour that roux. Then you're going to either add you some white potatoes or some red potatoes. After that, you're going to take it and you're going to get you some carrots. Now, also, one of the things it's a great little pack. It's made by Lipton. It's a Lipton onion soup mix or a Lipton ranch mix. You add this to that, you throw your top on it, cook it around 300 for about 2.5, 3 hours. Ooh, boy. You got all that aroma going through the house. You take that
I wasn't hip to the onion soup mix part. I've never put that on the roast, bro. That's what's up. I put it on the mini meatloafs, but never a roast.
Yep. You add it to the roast, man. When you take that aluminum foil off or that top off, that steam and that aroma hit your nose. Hey, might make you slap somebody else's mama, but it better not be your.
Hey, man, I might have to cook that, bro. I swear that might be on the menu this week for me, man. That sounds too damn good.
Hey, that's feast, not famine. Now, along with that roast, you know, I'm still debating. I don't know if it's going to be broccoli, if it's going to be corn, but it's definitely going to be some homemade mashed potatoes. I'm pretty sure everybody know how to make homemade mashed potatoes. If you do not, get you a pot with some
boiled potatoes.
Water, salt, butter, and milk. Put your potatoes in there. You boil it. Now, when they're nice and tender. Now, this is one of the things that I use. So what I do is I take the potatoes out and I run it under the cold water. When I run it under the cold water, the peel will come completely off. You don't even have to mash the potato yet. The peel will come. It's just wiping it off. You wipe it off. The peel will come completely off the potato. You put them potatoes back in the pot. You grab your mixer, add you some salt, some pepper, some sour cream, homemade mashed potatoes.
Yeah, hey Nate, I done learned something today, brother. Real talk.
That's feast not.
Good job. Good job, big dog. I love that.
And that does sound really, really good. Of course, we're going to keep building on that. And in future weeks for Feast Not Famine, we'll even, like we did with the different websites we showed you, with Feast Not Famine, we'll grow it to the point where Nate's actually showing you what it is he's cooking so you can actually see it.
Actually, too. Now, remember, this is also, in order to be part of the contest, y'all, you have to be a part of the Facebook group.
Yep.
So if you are a part of that Facebook group, I will be going live Sunday prepping this meal. So you can see firsthand how it's made, how it's prepped, and the outcome. Now, you're going to have to smell it through the phone. I'm sorry, but
no, I'm gonna watch the video. I'm gonna watch this video when I cook it. I'm gonna watch this damn video. That's what I'm gonna do.
So fellas, we got time for closing remarks here, and then I'm sure our families would like to spend some time with us. So we're gonna go to Nate first. About a minute here, my friend. Closing remarks.
Man, closing remarks, man. Let's just I just want Lions fans to trust in Brad Holmes. If you were excited when you heard the hire, then continue to be excited. But understand this is still a rebuild. Understand that we're only 2 years in. Understand that things do not change and there is still a very huge talent gap. No, you may not like every move that he has made, but if you trust in what he has done with the Rams, then you have to trust that he's going to do the same thing here. Because remember, he's taking his job more serious than you are. So give him a chance. Let him do what he's going to do and watch him work. Elijah.
Well, I have to completely agree with what Nate just said. I actually was talking about that in a Georgia Tech podcast a few weeks ago. I was talking about the fact that, we're, as fans, sometimes we, get so passionate that we forget that, our roof over our head is not dependent on whether our team wins. For example, the Lions can lose. I hope they don't, but the Lions can lose. And it doesn't mean that my wife and I are out in the street. It does mean that, though, for the people who are in the organization. So that's one thing as a fan, that there's fan and there's fanatic, and you never want to be a fanatic. You want to be a fan. You want to be a good, healthy fan who loves the team, supports the team, but is not sitting there saying, my roof is not going to be over my head if we lose this game. That, of course, is if you're not betting money you shouldn't be betting. So bet responsibly. Obviously, if you do bet, I don't. But if you do, make sure you bet responsibly. I want Lions fans to rally behind this team, and hopefully we'll get a win on Sunday. Also want to send my well wishes out to Reggie as well. I hope that he feels better very, very soon, my friend. And if you stayed with us this long, I would love to hear from you in the comments section about what your favorite segments are and maybe some of the guys you're looking at that we didn't cover in our Prospect Watch, because you're a part of this too. After all, you are a part of the podcast. Just like we all are, and we grow off of what you tell us. So make sure that your opinion is heard. I want to send it over to Bobby here, and then Bobby, just toss it back to me when you're done, my friend.
Okay. I just want to just let you guys know that you guys are the best at what you do. That's my closing thought. It ain't about the team. You guys are really good. I've learned so much in many different ways about just broadcast journalism or broadcast sports talk. I learned where to go, I learned where to go when I get to Detroit, where the best places to go and park and whatever. And I just feel like, man, guys, I just love this podcast. I really don't, the team winning or losing really don't make a difference for me being a Lions fan, but I do love a good victory formation, if you get my drift. But just everybody be safe, because it's the holidays coming. We got to make sure we love our family and all that. And go Lions! And I'll see you next week, Reggie. I know you're gonna be back and ready to go. And Elijah, you can just send us on home. Send us on home, brother.
You know, it's funny because I would encourage folks to go and watch the beginning of this video when we had a whole bunch of energy. And then watch right now when we're all like, we love y'all. You know, we're so tired. We're just loving on everybody.
Blue, you my boy. Blue, you my boy. Blue.
So, and just for some perspective, for folks who wonder how much love and effort we put into this thing, we started this episode at 4:30 today. It is now 7:30. It has been 3 hours of Lions time. And that don't happen without planning, without these guys that are on the screen with me, without the fella who's not on the screen right now. But we're hoping he'll be back next week. We love y'all. We love the Lions, and we hope that you love this show. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe, go on the hunt, find some other videos to like, and all of us are going to go take a nap. So we'll see y'all next week. Bye.
All right, guys.
Peace.
That name